Hey, Veeam Pro partners, we are so glad to have you guys here with us today. Welcome officially to the Veeam Data Cloud new product releases and enhanced capabilities partner briefing. Today, before we get started, I just want to cover a few small details. One, when you entered, you were automatically muted. And then two, if you have any questions, there is going to be a chat and a Q&A function over to the right of your screen. Go ahead, put any questions that you have in there, and we will be answering them throughout the webinar. And then last but not least, after this recording, you are going to receive a follow-up email that's going to include the slides and then also a recording of the presentation. All right, so what you're going to hear today, first and foremost, you're going to hear an overview of Veeam Data Cloud. We released it about a year ago, but we just want to give you a quick little recap and overview of what it is. But then we're going to get into everything that we have enhanced in the last few weeks or the coming weeks. So Kelly is going to talk about Veeam Data Cloud for Microsoft 365 for VCSP partners. So for all you VCSPs out there, I know you are excited about this update. And then we're going to pass it over to Trent, and he's going to talk about the inclusion of that into our VCSP rental program. And then last but not least, Mike is going to cover Veeam Data Cloud Vault version 2. There's a lot of exciting updates for our partners in that release. So for me, again, I just want to give you a quick update of Veeam Data Cloud, just a quick little overview. We purchased a company about a year ago, and then at the beginning of 2024, we officially renamed it Veeam Data Cloud, and we put it into our product offerings. What it is, it's basically just the same the same type of backup that we offer with software. So your customers will have the confidence and reliability that comes in that, but now they have choice. They can combine it with a SaaS solution. So again, we released this at the beginning of the year. We do have it available in Microsoft 365 Backup and Microsoft Azure Backup. We do continue to make enhancements and additions to it. For example, with the Microsoft 365 offering, we did enhance it this year where we have 3 different editions included in that. Veeam Data Cloud Vault was also added this year. So this is an exciting offering from Veeam, and like I said, we are continuing to add to it. And today you're going to hear about some of the additions that we are adding to it. So why did we decide to go with a SaaS offering? One, the market trends is moving in that direction, right? So earlier this year, we released our data protection trends report. And I'm just going to share a few stats with you. One of the questions that we asked is, which of the following is your organization's primary method of business continuity and disaster recovery today? And to what's today, and then what is in 2 years' time? So you can see the green is the self-managed data centers, right? And over the 2 years' time, you see that continuously getting lower and lower. When you look at cloud infrastructure or a DRaaS provider, that is continually getting higher and higher. So we wanted to offer a SaaS solution that's going to meet the demands of the market, so that not only creates an opportunity for us, but it also creates an opportunity for you guys as well. And then another stat is, what is your primary method of backing up today? Which do you anticipate as a primary backup method in 2 years? Again, using backup on premise, from 2020 to 2025, it's continually getting lower and lower. If you look at the purple group, that is backup using cloud services as a part of a solution. That's where SaaS comes into play. If you look at that percentage, a lot of organizations, they are saying that is the direction that they are going in. So again, this creates an opportunity not only for us, but for you guys, and we want to make sure that we are capitalizing on these marketing trends. And so with that, I am going to pass it over to Kelly, and she's going to talk about Veeam Data Cloud for Microsoft 365, specifically for our VCSPs.
Thank
Kelly,
you so
over
much.
to you.
Yeah, thank you. I'm so excited to be here today to talk about Veeam Data Cloud for Microsoft 365. Most of you are familiar with this product, but for those of you who are not, this is Veeam's backup service, which is based on our industry-leading Microsoft 365 backup technology. This provides a modern, simple, secure user interface that's easy to use. And we believe that Veeam Data Cloud will fundamentally change how you protect your customers' data and remain resilient in the face of ransomware and other data impacting events. Now let's get into what's included on the next slide. With a backup service, you're no longer going to have to worry about the back end. Veeam Data Cloud for Microsoft 365 is an all-in-one cloud service which includes compute, networking, updates, and unlimited storage per user. This means you can focus on selecting the type of backup you wish to schedule, executing restores, and locating backups. You can easily search across your users and various applications just as you would do with our core product. And this is going to be able to help you retrieve the files you need from exactly the point in time your customers require. Now, as Amanda mentioned, we do have 3 plans available of Veeam Data Cloud for Microsoft 365. So let's get into what those 3 plans are. On the next slide, you'll see the first one we're going to talk about is Veeam Data Cloud Express. Now, Express prioritizes speed and scale. It is powered by Veeam's integration with Microsoft 365 Backup Storage, and it supports Microsoft Exchange, SharePoint, and OneDrive for Business. It offers fast backup of initial Microsoft 365 tenants and other large data sets, as well as bulk restores at scale. Now you'll see Veeam Data Cloud Flex. This prioritizes control and flexibility. It supports Microsoft Exchange, SharePoint, OneDrive for Business, as well as Teams. It provides comprehensive control and customization of backups and retention periods. It will also offer you granular and bulk recovery options, as well as advanced security capabilities such as granular role-based access control. And one thing to note here is that data will be stored separately from your Microsoft 365 tenant in the Azure location of your choice. Now let's get into Premium. Premium covers, it combines the flexibility and control of Flex with the speed and scale of Express, and that will give you the most comprehensive, most complete Microsoft 365 data protection solution. One thing to note, at launch, our VCSP partners will be able to leverage Flex with Express and Premium coming shortly after in a subsequent release. Now, as we get into the next slide, we're going to talk about what this actually means for you. So, with the introduction of Veeam Data Cloud for Microsoft 365 into the VCSP rental program, service providers will have the power of choice to deliver data protection services for Microsoft 365 utilizing a first-party SaaS solution without having to build, operate, or manage infrastructure or sell licenses to the end customer. In terms of timing, we are working to release this product this year with a mid-December target availability date. Okay, now on the next slide, we're just going to quickly cover some of the benefits. And a few of these we've already covered off on. So you'll see the first few on here. This backup service is built on our industry-leading backup technology. It is going to be that all-inclusive service, which means you don't need to buy or maintain additional hardware, and that will result in a quicker time to market. On top of that, Veeam Data Cloud has an easy-to-use user interface, so you can quickly perform backup and recovery tasks, monitor operations, and generate reports. It also allows for that centralized multi-tenant management so you can see all your customers in a single UI. It will be available on a flexible pay-as-you-grow rental licensing model, which we're going to get into in the next few slides, and it will also give you simplified usage reporting since Veeam Data Cloud actually automatically collects SaaS usage on the first day of each month. And this is going to help you save time and ensure precise billing for your customers. On the next slide, we're going to quickly take a look at some use cases. So Veeam Data Cloud is a great solution for our service providers who want a scalable cloud-based storage options, those who are looking to get rid of their own infrastructure, or those seeking SaaS-based technology. And when Express becomes available, it is also going to be great for those service providers who want to leverage Microsoft 365 backup storage. And with that, I'm going to pass over to Trent to get into the details of how this is integrated into the VCSP program.
Thanks, Kaylee. Really exciting stuff for our VCSP partners and a lot of really good opportunity to complement their business. So to start off, how will this new VDC offering be priced, and how do we work it out as partners? So thank you very much. So from a introduction perspective, VCSP partners will see the introduction of a SaaS pricing curve. And basically what that SaaS pricing curve will be is a price per point that is going to be in line with the points that you have within your contract. So if you're a partner on a 200-point plan, your SaaS pricing curve will be in line with a 200-point plan allocated to that. It is a different pricing curve to the software pricing curve that you are used to today, and but it's directly mapped to the VRA point level that you are on. So basically what will happen is the VDC usage will automatically be added to the usage report and totaled up to that end invoice amount. And that SaaS pricing curve is non-negotiable. If we look on the right-hand side, you will see how we actually calculate the different offerings that Kelly spoke about. So first you see VDC Flex at 2.5 points, VDC Express at 4 points, and VDC Premium at 5.5 points. And so that is how you will understand what the points per unit are for the different VDC workloads. And just to reiterate, you'll see on the bottom left the software pricing curve. That software pricing curve is what you as partners are used to today. So you have a no commit or a volume rental agreement at a price of X, and you've committed to a certain amount of points per month. What we're going to be doing with the introduction of the VDC offering is we're introducing a SaaS pricing curve, which then is directly mapped to your volume rental agreement. Very important factor is that partners will only have one volume rental agreement. So you won't have a separate agreement for VDC. You will have a single software volume rental agreement, and whatever your volume rental agreement points allocation is, if it's say 200 points, you will then see the benefit of the 200-point SaaS pricing curve. And last point around this is that as your points allocation grows, where you move from 200 points to 800 points, and you want to look at upgrading, your SaaS and software points total up together to give you the benefit from there. So if we go to the next slide, we can see an example of what that invoice will look like. So the pricing stated here is purely an example. Very important to reach out to your aggregator to understand what price per point you have and how that maps back to the SaaS pricing. But if we look at the example above, you'll see the software pricing that you are used to. For example, Veeam Backup Replication Enterprise, working out at 11 points, you multiply your cost per point and you get to your total amount of points there. When we look at the introduction of the SaaS pricing, you can see in the breakdown in the bottom, you have your SaaS price per point. Added to that is your total amount of points, your SaaS points that you've used, and the calculation totals up in the end. So you will have two different points models for your software licensing and your SaaS licensing, but it'll all be totaled together in a single invoice. And just to reiterate, partners will continue to have only one volume rental agreement so that we are removing complexity and keeping it as simple as possible. So how do you get started? So we've got some very simple steps here. So basically, to get started with VDC is you need to have a active rental agreement. So that's either a non-commit or a volume rental agreement. And that allows you to log onto VCSP Pulse, which is the portal that partners use to create and allocate Veeam rental licenses. Once VDC for VCSP is live, you will see a VDC a page or the VDC section on that right-hand side. And if you are logged in with the right credentials, we need to make sure that the primary license administrator is initiating these next steps. So when you are logged in as the primary license administrator, you can then register your business to sell VDC. You complete that registration form, and then you will then be authenticated and have the ability to actually start moving forward and creating customers within the VCSP Pulse platform. What happens from there, if we look to the next slide, is once you've created your customers, you will then start looking after and creating the different backup profiles within the Veeam Data Cloud customer management portal. So partners who are selling Veeam Data Cloud today, they will know the Veeam Data Cloud portal. There are some slight differences between the view that a service provider will have, because obviously we need some multi-tenancy, and there's certain elements that service providers will have in order to deliver that fully managed service. But if you are a partner that is selling VDC today under the subscription model, it's the same portal with a few different nuances. So keeping it all familiar and making sure that you're as comfortable as possible. And if we just go to the next slide, we'll see a bunch of data around the different welcome information, the training that we are going to be providing. So there's modules that are going to be available on Veeam IQ. There's going to be content that's going to be available on the Pro Partner Launch Center. And we're trying to make sure that we're answering as many questions as possible and getting you familiar so that you can get started with Veeam Data Cloud and accelerate that business. So with that, I'm going to hand it over to Mike, who will take you through the Veeam Data Cloud Vault.
Awesome. Thank you, Trent. And like Trent said, yes, we're going to talk about Veeam Data Cloud Vault version 2. And we're super excited to tell you about this release. As you probably heard, we did launch this version back on November 12th, and we're already seeing some incredible traction. So let's move forward and we'll take a look at what the market is saying. So as we look at the market demand, many organizations around the globe are turning to cloud storage in addition to disk-based backup. Despite this demand, there are a few challenges that folks are running into, and we'll talk about the top 3 here on the screen. So starting with managing cloud spend. Although the cloud is a pay-as-you-go model, it still has those hidden costs that are incredibly hard to forecast and predict. And it's not just about the gigabytes of capacity that you need, right? You have to think about all the other costs that are associated, such as those API transactions when you're reading and writing the data, egress charges to get the data out of the cloud, and the list just continues. All of these things lead to overspending that you may not have predicted or anticipated. And then we move to security. The same security principles apply in the cloud just as they do on premises. The cloud is a shared responsibility model, so the security of the data does fall on the owner of the data. And of course, there are tools and capabilities within the cloud, within the hyperscalers to enhance that security, but organizations really don't have that, the knowledge, the tools, or the technology that they need to get those security capabilities in place. So they're lacking those resources and expertise. And many of the organizations just don't have that on staff to regulate the cloud cost and the operational knowledge it takes to optimize the security there. So as we move forward, that's why we introduced Veeam Vault, right? It's a secure cloud storage made easy. And the 3 pillars you see on the screen here are solving for the challenges I just talked about. Starting with predictable. It's all-inclusive pricing. It's easy to forecast. It's easy to predict. Second, Veeam Vault is securely architected. It's always air-gapped from production. It's securely controlled. It's always immutable. It's always encrypted. And Veeam, of course, takes security very seriously. And Veeam Vault aligns to all of these zero trust principles. And finally, it's super easy. It fills the gap of the lack of specialized skilling, the resources and the personnel that you just might not have on staff. And as we move forward, we are introducing Veeam Vault version 2. And we're super excited about it. So let's dive into the first pillar here, uncompromising security. First, we've made significant steps in upgrading the backend security to make sure that it is as secure as possible. And we've also upped that durability, and I'll get into that in a little bit. And as we move to the next pillar, unbelievably easy. Next, we just make it so easy. It was already easy in the beginning, but we're making it even easier. So in 12.3 and beyond, 12.3 is not needed for Veeam Vault. Any Veeam Data Platform Edition version or licensing mechanism that supports object storage can support Veeam Vault. And this takes us all the way back to version 9.5. That was like 10 years ago, right? So meaning any edition of Veeam Data Platform supports Vault. And then we're also very excited to announce unbeatable price point when compared to doing this yourself. And as we move to the next slide, we'll see the two versions, the price points here on the screen. So like I said, it doesn't matter what edition of VDP you have. It doesn't dictate the edition of the Veeam Vault you have. And you can see the price points here. So with Foundation starting at $14 per terabyte per month, and Advanced at $24 per terabyte per month. And then as we move to the next slide, you're going to see the differences between the two. And first, you'll see all of these are built on Azure Cool Storage. We selected Cool to get a better economical price, but you can still expect the same backup and, more importantly, the same restore capabilities as you would on hot storage. Both are always air-gapped, always immutable, always encrypted, no matter what, and it can't be turned off. So staying on this screen, let's talk about what's different. For Foundations, we have 11 nines of durability. And what that means is when the backup lands, we will make 3 copies of that backup across different drives within the same data center. And with same data center is very important because if you look to Advanced, we make 3 copies across different data centers within the same region. And we're calling that 12 nines of durability. So incredibly reliable, incredibly available. And the next difference is around read and restore. For Foundations, we have fair use policy, allowing you to restore up to 20% of the capacity that you subscribe to. Meaning if I have a customer that has subscribed to 100 terabytes in any given year, they can restore up to 20 terabytes without any additional charges. But if you want the unlimited policy, of course, Advanced is the way to go with that. All right, and as we move to the next slide, please. Vault version 1 was available in the Azure Marketplace, and so is version 2. So if you as a partner, sorry, can you just go back one slide? So, thank you. So if partners have a billing relationship with Microsoft, you can still absolutely transact through the Azure Marketplace. But we've also opened it up to our traditional 2-tier distribution model as well. And yes, it is deal reg eligible, including power finish for the remainder of 2024. So there is an incredible opportunity to make significant volume of margin through our traditional channels that we have. And then if we move to the next one, Amanda, please. All right, so our call to action is to supersize every Veeam data platform deal. So of course, head over to Pro Partner Portal. There's a ton of content and training. I'm going to get into that in a little bit. And then of course, it's a great opportunity to attach Vault to any of those existing opportunities that you have, and then circle back with any of your customers that are leveraging VBR or Veeam Data Platform, and then talk about Vault. It's super easy to get started, and you can have an instant offsite backup repository in minutes. And if we move to the next one, please. So we do have a special introductory price for our Veeam Pro partners, and you can leverage the quote configurator on Pro Partner Portal to get a general idea of what Vault will cost you, depending on the edition and the capacity. So be sure to access that and bookmark that. And then as we move to the next slide, Trent already mentioned it, but we can't iterate this anymore, right? So the Launch Resource Center, it's really your first stop shop. And right after this webinar, you should really go check that out. We have a comprehensive partner overview out there for both VARs and VCSPs, enablement modules to help you learn what's new, along with the sales resources that your teams are going to need to start having those conversations with your customers. So very important site to keep bookmarked and constantly revisit. And then the next one, we've introduced a Veeam Data Cloud Marketing Center campaign. So as you can see on the screen here, we have tons of resources for you to create a go-to-market strategy around Veeam Data Cloud. You can plug a lot of these assets into your marketing engine that you're using today. We have a QR code right there at the right-hand side, so you can instantly access that and get started today and start generating those leads that you need so you can start selling more of Veeam Data Cloud. And with that, that wraps up the webinar today. Hopefully you were utilizing the chat function and we're answering those questions. We really appreciate your time and good luck with Veeam Data Cloud for Microsoft 365 for our VCSP program. Good luck with Veeam Data Cloud Vault version 2, and we will be talking to you in the near future. Thank you.